What is up, YouTube? What is up, Christian College family? So we have a woman that left a man when she was 23 years old, and now she's 35 years old, and she wants the same man back. I don't know why she left the man in the beginning or to begin with, but maybe the man wasn't what she wanted or whatever. Like, I'm assuming. I'm not sure. Let's get straight to the video though. I'm not gonna waste the time. If you guys like the video though, hit that subscribe button. It helps me out. Let's get straight to it.
Greener on the other side. And then you go back to something that you dated when you were younger, and you kind of realize, again, like you said, that person's mindset didn't necessarily grow over time. Things happen in your life that make you change a little. Things happen in that person's life that makes them change a little more. This time frame has passed, and now the things that have occurred during that time frame have changed the two of you in a certain way. And now you go back into the situation and you guys don't connect as much as you think. Okay, that situation could have worked out, but because of the time that has passed, you guys are not the same, and you think it's going to work out, but it doesn't necessarily happen that way. Now I'm a person that doesn't care for toxicity. I used to be a person that loved it because it was fun. I was young. I didn't have a bigger plan for my future. But now that I'm back with you, the toxicity won't work for me. So therefore, this relationship can't work.
This was one of the things Alan told me, which I thought was like so great, and I've been running with it ever since, right? And this is my take on my analogy on dating an ex, right? So there's an old story where there was a woman who wanted a pig. Okay, this woman wanted a pig, and she was a very rich, wealthy woman. She got the pig, she got the baby pig, and she dressed it up in all designer. She put diamonds on it, diamond necklace, everything. She made the pig everything that she wanted, right? And then as she, had the pig, one day it started to rain, right? And she got caught in the rain. And the pig almost broke her arm to jump out of her arms so it could run in mud. At the end of the day, the pig is still going to be a pig. It does not matter what you want it to be. It does not matter what you want to dress it up as. The same goes and the same rules applies as people. That person is what they are, and it's important to accept what they are, which is most likely, not all the time, but it's most likely the case that they are an ex and not a current.
It seems like, oh, people are who they are. Like the pig is who they are. Accept the pig or don't accept the pig. How about we blame the woman for being foolish enough to believe that she could dress
wear Gucci?
No, that's what I'm blaming.
Okay,
or not just the woman, but that woman in an analogy.
Yes.
I'm blaming the person to not understand that you can't make anybody be what you want them to be. Right. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care how much power you have. I don't care how much popularity you have. Right. You can't make somebody be what you want them to be. You could date a girl. You could be a guy. You could date this girl.
That's what this is saying. Never try to change a woman. Never try to change a woman. The way you got her or the way she was when you met her, she might be the same way, because most people don't change. Most people don't change. So you got to pick a good woman in the beginning. If you don't pick a good woman and you're stuck with the woman that you picked, it's going to be a headache. That's what they told me. My dad never told me this, but I had to figure this out myself by learning, doing research, watching videos, YouTube, Google, all that. All that helped me out. What I've heard is that don't ever try to change a woman. And from personal experience, I felt the same way. I couldn't change a woman. I couldn't mold her to what I wanted because that wasn't truly her. And you should never try to change anybody from what they are. If they're bad, they're going to be bad. You could try and say, hey, be good, all that, but you still can't change them. They have to want to change for themselves. So what I learned is you got to pick a good woman first. Pick a good woman first. And yes, everybody's going to have their flaws, little issues, little errors in their ways of life. And we correct those little errors. But it can be a huge error, like someone not believing God, someone not believing what the Bible says. That is a huge error. And having to change that all around could be really difficult. So please pick someone that's already knows what is happening, and some little issues that you might have and she might have, you guys can work on those. That's what you have 50, 60 years in a relationship for. All right, let's get back to the video.
Beautiful, but guess what? She's not a wife, and you can't make her be a wife. You're a woman. You're dating this guy, right? And he's just an asshole, and you want a gentleman. He can't be a gentleman, and you got to understand that instead of trying to mold and change people and give people every reason to change, you just got to give yourself every reason to move on. If I had to take a poll, right, and this is just an educated guess stat, I would say 80% of people who left their ex and doubled back to their ex is because they thought that they can qualify for something bigger or better, and they don't. And so they realized that what they thought their market value was and what they thought they could obtain, they can't. So now they're trying to go back to where they technically belong. But like you said before, that doesn't mean that person is going to accept you back, especially.
Do I really? I don't agree with that. Like, let's run it back. I want to really hear what he said, because I don't want to put words in his mouth.
Bigger or better. Who left their ex. This is an educated guess stat. I would say 80% of people who left their ex and doubled back to their ex is because they thought that they can qualify for something bigger or better, and they don't.
That's wrong because a girl could leave a man if the man is cheating on her. You're cheating on your girl. You beating her. You giving her STDs. You giving her freaking UTIs. You all doing all that. Like a woman could be like, hey, I don't want to take this any longer. I've tried to stay with you. I've tried to help you out, but you still want to disrespect me and go sleep with Tisha on the block when you have me, and I look way better than Tisha. But you like Tisha because she has a bigger butt than me. A woman could leave the man. Leave her because that's not a good man for you. Someone that's cheating on you continuously. If you cheat one time, that's a different story. That's something you guys don't have to work on. If you want to stay, stay. If you don't want to stay, go. But if someone cheats one time and they apologize and it never happens again, that's better than someone who's continuously cheating. Because someone like that is going to disrespect you, in the whole relationship. So you got to leave. So if you leave, I don't think you should go back unless the guy is really changed. He's found Jesus or something like that. Then maybe you could give it another choice. But most of the time when you leave a relationship, you don't double back. You got to move on. Find someone better. Find someone that matches what you are right now. Okay?
And so they realized that what they thought their market value was and what they thought they could obtain, they can't. So now they're trying to go back to where they technically belong. But like you said before, that doesn't mean that person is going to accept you back, especially if your ex has now climbed the charts and now they're above where you met them and you're still at the same spot where you left them. I think it's important if you're going to leave somebody, you need to make sure that you understand that you're going to come back. If you ever decide to revisit, you have to be a better version of you. You have to be a more established version of yourself. You have to be a more, equipped, whether it be assets and or, wisdom, knowledge, whatever it may be. You have to have more attributes than you actually left with when you try to double back. If you try to double back and even if you're making more money, but you're still the same person, you're still the same person. You know what I'm saying? So those are just my tips.
Unless money was the issue, which for the case of marriage and divorce, they say that that's the number one reason why people separate.
I want to go back and I want to tie both.
And to me, it doesn't make sense because money's going to come and go. Money's going to come and go. 1 year you make 100,000, the next year you got fired. Where's the money now? It's gone. You have to find another way to make money. So if the reason you left your marriage because of money, then I think you're selfish, and I think you're really lame, because money comes and go. And if you're a smart woman, I'm talking about a woman's side, right? I'm a man, so I'm gonna talk about a woman's side. Listen, because I date women, so I have to talk about women, right? Okay. Let's say, as a woman, you should also help a man. Like if the man is making 100,000 and the next year he's making 60, you need to help that man make 100 plus or more. Not 100,000 or more. Use your gifts to help him. To help him increase his gifts. Or you could use your gift to earn money too. Women earn a lot of money nowadays. In America, women earn more than me. So use your gifts to make a lot of money. You can make 200,000. He's making 60 right now. You can help him out. You helping him improve on his gifts so he could use it to make a living. The next year you might be making 100,000 now. And the next year you make 150. And you two are making a lot of money. You add the money together, that's a lot of money. So now you're not worrying about money no more because you guys work together as a team. You shouldn't just leave a man because he can provide for you. In my opinion, you shouldn't. You should pray for the man, encourage him. Hey, I think this person's hiring. Let me type your resume for you. Because I can speak the English language more. I know how resumes work because I used to be an intern or I used to be an assistant and something like that. So I saw a lot of resumes, and the one that I picked were these, and these were the best ones. So let me take what I learned from that and help you with your resume. So now you could get a better job, or you can start something else. That's what a good woman does, not just runs away. Because that's not your purpose. Your purpose is to help a man. If you're not helping a man, what are you really doing? Especially if you're married. If you're not married, that's a different issue.
Both of your points together when you were referring to, men being able to step out of their relationship because he is the sole provider or whatever the case may be. Historically, that was the norm, right? And I want to tie that into what's happening right now in terms of doubling back, right? Some people double back after the infidelity has happened in the original relationship. You know why? Because it takes an actual, conscious, aware person to understand that being unfaithful does not mean you're being disloyal. If I'm still doing everything that I was doing for you, okay? If I come home and I make you happy, If I take care of home, I take care of kids, I do everything. I'm the workhorse. But you caught me stepping outside. That doesn't mean I was disloyal. That means I was unfaithful.
I agree.
I still never stopped doing the things that I promised to provide for us. And I still never stop, making you unhappy. Granted, if you are doing, stepping out because there is an unhappiness, that's way different.
I'm gonna just go on a tangent a little bit. Sorry.
I love it.
But
Thought-provoking.
Now, when you're with a woman, right? She's doing a lot of things to bring. When you're with a woman that you love, obviously she's bringing a lot of things to the table that you obviously need and desire.
Right.
So if she steps out on you, you once
Fix this
said that
chair.
you can't, you won't take that woman back. Why is
Not what
there
I've
a
ever said.
difference?
Actually, in fact, I love correcting people. In fact, the way I actually got my job at 8 at the
That's all right,
table,
man. Hold on.
the way I got my job at 8 at the table was saying that if I was doing it, especially if I was doing it as well, I got to charge it to the game. And I realized that life, first of all, I stepped out in other relationships. So if I'm in a good relationship, and most men are probably going to deny it, but I realize that most men are just going to deny it to themselves. If you're in a good relationship with a woman and she steps out on you and she was still doing everything that she needed to do, granted, it depends on how she steps out. If she built a relationship, that's one thing. We're talking about like maybe a girl's trip. She fuck around and fuck Drake. I'm going to be mad.
I think I did. I do remember you saying, okay.
I'm gonna be like, yo, I gotta charge it to the game. You know what I'm saying? That's just what happens. You know what I'm saying? But if you go out and
I mean, like, it depends though, man. If you're married for 20 years, bro, like, one little thing like that it's gonna break the bond. It's gonna break the trust. But I think it's something you can work on. It's something you can work on, honestly, because it's one and done. You don't have to think about it no more. But I think it's a tough situation to be in, because cheating is like really never acceptable. Honestly, it feels terrible, especially if you're the opposite party that it happened to you. Let's say you're a woman, your man cheat on you. It might be horrible, or you're a man, your woman cheat on you. It's terrible. But I think it's something that I could work on, in my opinion. I think even Jesus said that because we are so evil, we are so wicked that we can't even forgive our partners. But Jesus Christ forgives us every day that we wake up, right? So it depends on you. You can forgive your spouse and work on it. You could do that. You could divorce your spouse and build a whole new relationship. Depends what you want to do. I'm sure building and working in a relationship is going to be a little bit harder than finding a new spouse, but it's going to be worth it because now you've already had a 20-year bond. You just have to get back to it again, So it's probably going to take less time to fix the issue, mend the issue, than to start a whole relationship out and go find and search for a new man, in my opinion. Okay, let's get back to the video.
you go get a Pico and not a Rico, then we have an issue. You're not gonna go below this. Nah, I know you're just desperate.
Okay.
But that was just to clarify.
But back to your point though, about the loyalty, disloyalty, unfaithfulness. So that is so key. When I work with my clients, I ask them, what do you want? Like the notebook, like, what do you want?
Yeah.
And many times people use this term of, I want someone who's loyal. And that's not the word that they actually, I'm like, let's Google it. Like, are we sure that the words that you are using and the attributes that you're looking for is actually descriptive of what you want? And that's exactly it. Like, no, I want someone who's faithful. Okay, so then that's a different animal. So I agree with you 100% in that regard. Back to your comment though of how many times are we going to accept the unfaithfulness? Like, what are the circumstances? Like you said, the Drake versus the Pico. Like, what are the circumstances that are, I don't want to use that word, but
It is what it is,
like
yeah.
acceptable? And then also in your case, you said charge it to the game if you were doing dirt, if you weren't doing the dirt.
No, I'm talking about even previously.
Yeah, in the
I've already did my. Listen, karma is coming. I don't know how she's coming, but if it's coming, like, well, I guess this is what I deserve. This is what happens.
So you just want to just do it.
I know what I was. Listen, I know everything that I did in my life. It wasn't the most reasonable, right? But you see the foot that.
I do think that disloyalty and unfaithfulness can go hand in hand, though,
Coexist, yeah.
because you're unfaithful but still be loyal to me. Like, I understand what Rico was saying, like he's still doing all of these things, but what are you telling this side bitch? Like, what are you telling this girl that you're cheating? Are you saying like my wife at home is a piece of shit? Like, oh, she's so annoying, blah blah blah. You're disloyal.
Yes.
But if you be like, I'm fucking you, but I love my wife. Like, I'm not leaving her. This is not like we're not gonna be in a relationship. Like, I love her. I'm going back. That is loyal.
can't. I
How you
can't.
talk
That's
about
me right there.
How you talk about me behind my back is you being loyal to me. So I feel like that goes.
They love it. They love it. Women love that. It's sickening.
Ew.
Women love.
And not me.
If you tell a girl,
no way.
yo,
They
listen.
got
A lot of Jezebels love breaking up a happy home. I'm telling you this. That's a fact. Their spirit is so broken. Like, Satan resides in them that, hey, they like breaking up a good, happy home. Like, when you outside and you see happy couples, look at some of the women. Look at how they look at the couple. It's like, this couple, look at this couple. Well, they think they got it all, huh? They think they got it all. Look at them. They hating because they don't have their relationship. So they want to hurt your relationship so you could come to that level. lonely, single, when you have a wife, but you have to stoop down all the way to them. So they'll try to attack you whilst you're on this high vulnerable. You married, you faithful. They'll try to attack you so they could bring you down. You know.
I'll be loyal.
We about to mess around, but I'm telling you right now, I love my girl. Do not fuck my shit up. Some women would be like, "Wow,
Don't even talk
I
about
want that.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
I want that too.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm here
no
with you
matter
right
what.
now, but don't be talking shit about my girl.
No, yeah. What? I will fight you. Like,
Oh,
yo,
yeah,
we can
like,
fuck.
we
You
can
better not
fight
talk
right
shit about
now.
my wife. Like, you know, but women love that because at the end of the day, this is what I believe. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I could be in my own space.
And that's what we have to marry, guys. That's what we have. That's what, like, somebody that's gonna tell me, like, I'm gonna cheat on you, but well, I had your back.
No,
Like,
I'm not saying this is what we
Nah.
should want, but I'm just trying to
It's the
let
reality.
them know how
I'd rather be alone.
loyalty
You know how
and
many-
I would
faithfulness.
rather be alone.
You wouldn't rather be alone. You'd rather be lied to. See, that's the thing. There's so much infidelity. And for a long time, even here at 80 at the table, I fought to not say normalize infidelity, normalizing the act of cheating. But guess what? It is more normal than it is unnormal. And we need to start to embrace it. And there's some people who need to actually be like, yo, you know what? Cheating on me isn't a full deal breaker, depending on how many times it happens.
Okay, fine.
No, but if
said
you
that and I
that
got
loyal to me,
cursed.
don't let me find out.
Okay,
So
fine.
you said that what?
Literally, it was reposted today where I said that. I said that on a podcast before that I said, I am married, right? I am legally married to my husband. And if he cheated on me one time, and again, depending on the circumstances, that I might not necessarily divorce him. And the thing is that most women, and I would even say people, would say the same thing, but they don't want to say it aloud because it's awkward or it's embarrassing. A lot of folks are, oh, I'm not doing 50-50 with a man because then that means we're roommates. And most of those bitches is doing 50-50. They just don't want to say it aloud because the expectation is that as a woman, these are the standards you should have. And people are lying, and they're lying because of social media. They're lying because of pressures. They're lying because of society. 9 times out of 10, folks are forgiving their wives, even though men will not admit it.
yeah.
And they are forgiving their husbands, even though they don't want to admit it. They are.
Is it
Yeah,
that
that's true.
relationships get like
I
boring,
mean,
maybe, or there's not enough?
that's what
sex in
God tells us to do. Forgive. You gotta forgive your neighbor. If you don't forgive your neighbor, God is not gonna forgive you. So you might want to forgive your husband. You can forgive, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you still have to be with the person. That's the caveat. You can forgive and not be in a relationship, right? So, and you can forgive and also be in a relationship still. That's the difference right there, you know?
the relationship? Like, what is it that makes people decide, all right, like, because in that case, why even be in a relationship if that part is just not fulfilling?
I think that there's something that's lacking in the relationship, and I would even venture out to say that it's not even necessarily the quality of sex or the quantity of sex with their actual partner. It's not even that. I think sometimes people don't feel seen. They don't feel appreciated.
Opportunity.
It's the attention that this new person offers. A lot of times, especially if you speak to women, they don't even intend on the sexual act. They don't even intend, they don't even care about actually having sex with this outside person. It's the phone calls, it's the text messages, it's the compliments, it's the gifts, it's the dates that are more attractive. And then by default, eventually well, I might as well have sex because that's the direction we're going in. But it's not even about the sexual act many times.
So there's been
isn't.
possible times that you considered doubling back to an ex. What was the one thing that was pulling you back personally into that old relationship?
Just a vibe.
Loneliness.
Damn.
Just a vibe.
I'm just.
No, the loneliness.
It was, my heart wasn't aching to go back.
I don't get lonely.
Like I didn't like miss him that bad, but I was just like, all right, I'm real bored. He's not even texting me no more. Like, all right, I'm gonna text him. Let's see what's up.
A lot of
Let me see
times
if he
our
misses me.
partners be our best friends. Like we talk every single day, multiple times a day. Like you miss your best friend. So it's not even an issue of that person being the shit, but it's like, damn, like I didn't get a text this morning. Like no one asked me if I ate today. That's what you miss. It's like you miss relationship shit, not necessarily
right.
that person. Like anyone could have been in that slot, but now I don't have nobody who's going to talk to me while I drive home. I don't have anybody to complain about my drive to. Like just missing that engagement.
Everybody needs a friend. I think more that's what it is. Everybody needs a friend. Everybody needs someone to vent to, someone to talk to, someone to, complain to, whatever.
true.
I think that's when you have somebody that's there all day. You guys can, you can complain about everything.
So you ladies never wanted to go back to an ex.
But see,
because
I think I was more busy because I don't even remember like feeling lonely. Like, oh, I want to just talk to somebody because I'm lonely. I'm just like, I can't even really remember ever being like, oh, I'm so lonely. I hate it here. I don't know. Like,
So my
that's one
question
thing
is,
that I just personally can't really.
none of you ever was like, hey, maybe I might want to consider giving my ex a second chance or a second stab at it because they were a good person.
I mean, good person doesn't mean good relationship.
Well, they were a good person, and maybe you did have a good relationship. I'm just trying to figure out, did you have a good relationship that, met some type of obstacles that, led you two split up, and then maybe you know, like thought about like you should give another stab at it?
Yeah, no, I mean, I told you there's one situation, yeah, but I just
Because you said the vibe, but what is the vibe? Like, what was the vibe that made you say, hey, I should give this
we
another
had
chance?
we had a good mindset together. We both had the same like goals, and we felt like we, you know, together we were just like, we complimented each other. Even when we would go outside, we would always get compliments like, oh my God, you guys look great together. You know, like that shit feels good. You know, you're with someone, you work out together, you have the same goals, you want to go certain places like together. You know, you have a similar mindset, and in a way that makes you be like, yo, I miss that. I miss being with someone that gets me.
Let's start with
Get
the
a drink.
ladies, okay?
We're starting with who?
The ladies.
Wow.
In terms of delusionality. I just made that word up. It sounds good. Okay.
Delusionality.
It sounds good, right?
Can we get it like a written out right there?
Delusionality.
Delusionality. All right, man. It's
Not reality.
You gotta put it now.
One of the biggest issues, salary. The expectation that their man or the gentleman that they're dating should be making the six figure number, okay? Now, we're in the tri-state area, so I understand the desire to want to be with someone who's making six figures because you kind of just need that in order to function, right? But this expectation that that's what someone should be earning in order for them to be worthy of you is impractical, and I'm gonna tell you why. That they could lose their job in any given moment. So if you're giving someone a chance based on how much money that they make, and tomorrow they are unemployed and homeless or whatever it is, then you're now stuck with the dude who's unemployed or homeless because you only mess with him because of how much money he made. Secondly, it's not about how much money you make, it's how you manage it. Somebody could be the top cardiologist at a hospital making $400,000, and they own 10 cars and they have 4 houses that they're underwater and they're paying child support and alimony and they're broke every week. So looking at a specific figure as a measure of whether or not you should date someone is problematic, and it's not going to work. So that's one of the biggest issues that I see with the ladies. Secondly, with the ladies, height. In what world does someone's height dictate how well they're going to treat you or how good of a husband or father they're going to be? There's nothing about that man's height that's going to make him a better human being.
They said that women say that the height is because they want someone that's towering over them, someone that could protect them. But look, most men that are 6 feet, look at Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert, he plays for the Timberwolves. You don't think that man's soft? That man's soft. You touch him a little bit. Red foul. Nah, that's a soft man. That man is 7'1" or something like that. 7'1". I'm 5'10". I could play through contact. I'm not really crying over a little foul. Like, it don't matter like that. Rudy Gobert is 7 feet. I'm 5'10". If you fought, he might win. I might win. It doesn't mean anything. I could do something that could bring him down to my level and I could beat him up. Who knows? I don't know Rudy Gobert personally. He could be tough. He could be whatever it is. Maybe he's just doing that just to draw the foul so he could get free throws or whatever. But that's not the case, man. That's not the issue. Let's get back to the video.
So, and again, I'm not saying that you should be dating folks who are necessarily like super shorter than you, but you're 5'2" and he has to be 6 feet. Why?
Yeah, it doesn't
Why?
make any
it's
sense.
unreasonable.
It doesn't
Even in
make
your
any
tallest
sense.
heels, he's
You 5'2". Like, it shouldn't matter if he's 5'8", 5'6", 5'10". Like, it don't matter. You're 5'2". What is the issue? He's still going to tower over you a little bit. So what's the issue?
still going to be taller than you. And I understand generally the idea is the taller the man, the bigger the man, the more likely he is to protect you. It's more animalistic than it is like reality, but still impractical. The gentleman. There's this desire to have a woman who has this very particular physique, especially for black women, right? Usually bigger titties, smaller waist, flat stomachs. However, usually the women who look like that are going to have higher expectations than what that man can afford. And it's not nice to say, but if she's getting tons of attention and she's this really beautiful woman with this amazing physique, then that means that usually she's going to date the kinds of guys who do have the six figures, who are taller, right? Who are more seemingly attractive. You probably can't afford the lifestyle that she's going to ask for. So it's unrealistic to have this, I want a woman that has this body, or I want a woman who looks like this. And we're not looking at her personality. We're not looking at her behavior. We're not looking at her traits. And then you're surprised when she's an airhead, or you're surprised when she's a bitch. Well, that's what you wanted. That's what you got.
I mean, I'm not even gonna lie. She's spitting. Everything she said was facts, true, spot on. Congratulations to her. All right, you guys, if you enjoyed the video, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.